So here we are the day after the Derby, and would you believe it, this old girl not only had a few good minutes and a couple good hits, but Hud did a good job driving, and the old girl kept going, and he ended up nose to nose with top driver in our area, Reece. Shout out to him. Reece Jackett, really good youth driver, knows what he's doing. Tough cars, and they both shared the top notch. Both cars kind of broke and were stuck, both making enough contact that they split it at the top. So as you can see, she is mangled. She was a tough old girl. Here's part of the engine block there. We'll just put that down there. Still runs, believe it or not, but as you can see, the transmission, this frame row at the end when we were nose to nose, Reece and us, he turned her in, pinned her all the way to the lines, and even severed, there's our loop line, severed right through that sharp metal. So she was grabbing kind of, and we were still running, but Reece was kind of stuck into our tire, and this tire was disengaging and engaging the whole time. It was wild. So watching the video after, this wheel, I can't believe how many times it stood up, depending on how he turned. We couldn't turn it all the way one way or the other, and it would pop back in. So just unbelievable. Crawford County Fair, again, we entered it kind of last minute. 2 days after we ran it at transfer was the Crawford County Fair. Got it finished in the morning, just kind of what we could. Again, that was broke, the one strut support piece. She's leaking. She was leaking tranny fluid. We topped that off with some Lucas oil treatment. Again, if you got an engine or a transmission, I should say, slipping, that thing, that stuff rather, works great. And I started putting a little bit in my Derby cars, kind of topping off the tranny. It kind of, in my opinion, helps them as they get hot. And at the end, maybe that helped us. The back end, as you can see, whoo, she folded in nice. This one came up and in. This one even pressed up some. We had a couple decent runs going backwards. You know, he's still working on the whole thing of driving, really using the rear view mirror and dad's directions. But the craziest thing, a little bit of bad luck or perhaps good fortune, the driver's seat, both seats are power. Before the second Derby, we had an issue with the power. It would move up, down, back, but it would not move forward. And I had moved it so that it wasn't so close, so I could maneuver it around to build it and get on the trailer and everything. Well, we just before the Derby, the second run, got it to move back. For this Derby at Crawford, it would not release. So it was farther back than we wanted, which made it more difficult for him to reach the pedals, but he could reach it just well enough. I took the tape off the steering wheel as well so he could see the dash, because with our motor cracked and leaking oil, which again I pointed out in the video here, she's cracked and it's leaking over the alternator, the oil. We topped off the oil before we drove it through inspection, topped off the tranny oil as well. Again, I mentioned some Lucas oil. Secured our line here, and you can see we actually have some electrical tape. There were some small seams to where it was kind of dripping out slowly. And again, I took a duct tape there and just kind of secured it to the front of the motor there with a zip tie. But we topped it off. Again, I mentioned how we gutted out the thermostat, which you absolutely need to do if at all possible whenever you loop the lines. Again, this piece worked great. Filled her with water, 2 cups of fabric softener, April Fresh. Topped her off and just said, hey Hud, let's go in and have fun. Didn't plan out, or the Derby didn't happen how we planned it, I should say, as we thought we'd all start against the wall, you know, back up and let's go forward and back a couple times, because we knew we couldn't steer it all the way and it might disengage that wheel if we did. Well, there were so many cars. There were 18 youth at Crawford. Great show again, all the features, but the youth as well, that they had a suicide start. So we still were going to try to back out and turn the nose as we were last through the inspection and end of the line. But it was so chaotic. We got hit in the rear end to start, and then somebody was kind of in our side, and there were like 4 cars beside us. So I said, Hud, back up and turn left. You know, let's get our rear end to the chaos. Right now, we can't even go on a run. And we kind of just stayed in that forward and back. He did a good job. Did a better job driving. Again, the more experience, the more comfortable you get. But yeah, unbelievable. End up not only in the trophies, but sharing the top notch with a driver like Reece. I mean, man alive, that's like a dream come true. He was tickled, and it was really cool to run in front of all of his buddies. Again, everything worked beyond what I could have hoped. The stock tank, just to show inside again, stock tank's still in there, and we pressed up to the axles. That's just kind of the top of the covering there, the wire goes down in. The tank's all the way up here, and it's completely fine, stationary. It rained this morning. I wasn't thinking it was going to rain. I didn't take my battery out because I was a little behind. You can see the rain there. Going to start tearing up everything we can get off it now. That's why there's some water in here though. But tank was good. Again, the lines running up were good. Everything worked but the electric seat. But maybe that was a good omen or a good luck charm or something. He was reaching extra far for the pedals. But up front, yeah, we was able to really solely hit the back, or have people hit the back. And then toward the end, they're getting down to like 6 or 7. And I was like, all right, Hud, we're getting hot. We're slowing down. I can't believe we're still running. You know, we were just kind of going forward and back, hitting every we could. He did get a wheel shot or two on someone. I told him that was a good shot. You know, someone was sideways and I'd be yelling, put the nose into him. And he did a good job. But it was in particular at the end where Reece went nose to nose with us, and boy, was his car hard. Again, another tough, well-built Camry. Him and his dad are real good at building them. And our car didn't like it. But what ended up in our favor, some bad luck for him, some good luck for us, when he folded us, his bumper, he had a Caravan bumper as well, slid up on us. And the first time when we went nose to nose, we were definitely coming with more force and, if you will, harder forward. We weren't flying. The car didn't have much left. And he was sitting on us, and I said, boy, isn't that last hit? And if that's not last hit, that's at least a split, right? Like we're both one here. And they said, well, everyone wants to unhook you. So they picked him up, set him down. We got another hit on him. He got another hit on us as we were kind of turning back, and then we got stuck again with him and our wheel. Speaking of Hud, Mom needed Hud. So as I was saying, some bad fortune for Reece, kind of getting hung up, some good fortune for us. And they ended up saying, you know what, you guys both kind of had last contact at getting stuck. We're gonna say you both got first, including the first place earnings, which was very nice of them. And we appreciate that, Derby Dog and the Crawford Fair. So, yeah, I mean, unbelievable. We just couldn't believe. We were laughing in the car, saying, I can't believe this thing's still running. And especially as we got down to the end, and whenever we got close to the trophies, there was a red flag, and I kind of looked over and said, do you believe this thing's still moving? But tough old girl, 3 good runs. The third one almost like a bonus run, and it just kept on fighting. Nothing left. We are going to take her to scrap, so I'm going to try to get everything off I can reuse or that I have, and including the converter, you know, maximize the aluminum wheels, all the money you can, and then start into the next one. So great car, Hyundai Azera 2008, Crawford County Fair. What a good fortune, good time. The old girl just kept battling and running. Unbelievable. So we'll scrap what we can, and that is it for Hudson's first summer of Derby. Great job.